How's it going?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, what did you think of your pro day overall today? What were you happy about?
uh, Honestly, I was happy about the whole thing. Really, just perform well and just was being myself for real.
What have you heard about maybe the type of position or role you might play at the next level?
Actually, like punt return, receiver, and running back. But that's what I do.
Did did you do any receiving type stuff today, and how did you think you did with that?
Oh, I done good. I ran a go ball and a post at receiver.
Okay, we'll go next to Gus Taylor from the University of Daly, Kansas. Go ahead, Gus.
Hey, Pooka, just wanted to ask, what have you learned from KU the most in your time at KU that you can take to the next level?
Uh, Responsibility and loyalty. I learned that the most at KU. You talking about just outside of football or just on
Yeah, I
football?
think both just, inside of football and obviously outside, just becoming, a well-rounded person, obviously inside football, the game and all that.
Actually, like I ain't gonna say the concept of football, like just like how linebackers operate more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll go next to Amos Morales. Go ahead.
Yeah, Pooka, Amos from WWL in New Orleans. Just wanted to ask you specifically, was this pro day and this whole draft process, was this something that you thought about, a lot as you were coming up playing football?
Most definitely. That should be every person that play football dream and goals. Honestly,
And I guess just the path you've taken to get to this point, what are some of the lessons you've learned as a person?
uh, don't take nothing for granted. I learned that. Don't take nothing for granted and just keep working. And just being myself. Honestly.
Okay, we'll go next to Rod Walker from Times Picayune. Go ahead, Rod.
Hey, Pooka, Rod Walker here at the Times Picayune in New Orleans. Just, when you're growing up here, at what point did you realize that, this was something that you could achieve? At what point in your career, just, growing up?
Uh, since I was young, actually, just people just always tell me my speed gonna carry me a long way, and and once I got to middle school, it's like I'm actually good at football. Then I got to high school, it's like now I gotta start taking it serious. Then that's when I really started taking football serious in high school.
Okay, Carlos Peterson Rosales. Go ahead.
Hey Puka, what excites you most about this upcoming process with the NFL draft?
What's excitement most is just me living my dream. My dreams finally coming to reality, and just doing the process excite me, honestly.
And real quick, what skill set do you feel like of yours most translates most well to the next level?
uh my route running, my hands, and the attitude I bring towards the game.
Okay, we'll go to Herbie next. If you have the city, go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Puka, Herbie Keope here with the Kansas City Star. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How you?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. Pro Day in the books now. What's next in your process as you prepare and ramp up for the draft?
My process, honestly, is more focused on just gaining my weight back, and just go through the process and live the dream.
What are some of your takeaways so far as maybe you've talked to a couple of teams and as teams have reached out to you?
As in, what you mean by the takeaways?
What are they telling you? I know you mentioned earlier you said punt returner and obviously running back, but like, what are they telling you as far as like maybe your draft position, or are they bringing you in for a visit?
I know we ain't been talking about that. And honestly, I don't care where I go as long as I get in the door. I'm gonna make sure I perform.
And since I cover the Chiefs, I have to ask you an obligatory question. Have the Chiefs expressed interest in you?
Honestly, it did, but it was like we ain't really talked too long.
Okay. Thank you.
Derek. Go ahead, Matt. Matt Derek from Chief Digest. All right, we'll move on. Ben Smith, the Journal World, go ahead again.
Hey, Pooka, when you opted out in October, you kind of referenced your mother's health. Can you give us an update on her, what's going on with her and how she's doing?
She way better. Actually, way better. Just a process, and she going through the process and getting way better as she go.
What was going on with her?
I'm not even sure.
But you said she's better now.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, obviously you haven't played a game in a while. I mean, do you think that time away will help or end up hurting you at all in the draft, or?
Nah, I feel like I said, if it do hurt me, once I get in there, I'll just prove myself again.
What type of things did you start doing to prepare after you shut down your season?
I was just training. I was training in Baton Rouge at first. Then I went up to Vegas and went to training for Pro Day.
And in Vegas, were you just there at a certain facility, or what took you out there for those?
He like my cousin, but I call him my cousin, Amik Robinson. I stay with him, and that's why I really went to Vegas and trained out there.
What type of stuff have you been doing to train and prepare?
Like 40 starts, like really just the Pro Day, like all the Pro Day stuff.
You kind of touched on this earlier, but have you heard about maybe any projections about what round you might get drafted in or anything?
Nah, I don't really play the media about that. It's just, like I said, it is what it is. And whenever I do get drafted, call my name, I'm going to prove myself. It don't matter what round I go.
Thanks, Pooka.
Hey, we'll try Matt Derek again. Matt, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thanks, Pooka. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate yours.
Hey, scouts always talk about how they want to know how much a guy loves football. I'm curious, what is it about the game that you love, and what got your love for the game going?
Just making plays and the physicality of the game. It's a physical game, and it's either get 8, and I know I ain't gonna get 8. So it's like my mindset just different when it comes to football.
And who was the most important person in your process coming up and growing up and getting in touch with the game and learning about it that made the biggest impact on you as a football player?
As a football player, like growing up, I admire Reggie Bush. I just always felt like I played like him. I had 25, like throughout park ball, just had number 25. And it's like, I just admire my game after him.
Okay, we'll go back to Amos. Amos, go ahead.
Yeah, 2 quick questions. One, you mentioned Amik, a guy from down here also, who's gone through this process and had to do sort of an adjusted process like you because of the pandemic. What kind of advice has he given you, and what have you really kind of learned from him as you're, heading into this?
Me and Meek talk daily. Every day he come from work, I sit on the counter, he sit in his chair, we just talk. We talk about football, just talk about life, and everything that come through. Like I'm gonna face, and he just tell me like, just be myself. Like God got you, you gonna be good, and that's what happened. I just been myself.
And is there anything in particular he told you that, all right, this is gonna be something that might catch you off guard or anything like that?
No, not really. Not really. He told me a couple things, but not really though.
And then I guess, have you heard from anybody down here? Have you heard from the Saints, and have people asked you have you heard from the Saints?
Yeah, that's gonna be a common question. I talked to him. I had a meeting with him. I think it was Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday actually. I talked to him, and conversation went well. But that's a common question I'm gonna get regardless by me being from close to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to Rod Walker. Go ahead, Rod.
Hey, Pooka, have you talked much to some of the other guys from down here that are in the league, like Leonard Fournette or Tyron or any of those kind of guys for any kind of advice?
Yeah, I've been talking to those guys since I've been in high school. Like T-Bill, not Tyron Matthews. I ain't really talking to Tyron Matthews, but Leonard. That's really it. And they just, like I said, they just told me keep my head on. I'm gonna be special.
You said Tyron Billy was one of them?
Yeah, I said T-Bill,
Yeah, okay.
Tyron Johnson.
Right.
Okay, we'll go to Edward. I'm not going to go ahead, Edward.
Hey, Pooka, how you doing? I cover the Eagles for SportsIllustrated.com. Ed Kratz is my name. But I wanted to ask you, you're from Louisiana. Boston Scott is an Eagles running back from with the Eagles. He's from Louisiana. Do you know Boston at all? Or you any familiarity with him?
No, sir.
Okay. And have you heard anything from the Eagles? Have you talked to them?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay. And what kind of player this is my last question. What kind of player would an NFL team be getting, not just a player, but as a person too, if they were to draft you?
Honestly, a game changer, and just a workaholic, just getting to it.
If you have any more questions for Pooka, go ahead and use the raise hand feature, and we will call on you. Rod, did you have another one? Okay, we'll go back to Ben Smith. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Pooka, how many teams have you talked to so far?
I'm not sure. It's been probably about 5+.
What are those conversations usually like?
It's just about football and about football really. Just understanding me and getting to know me as a person.
Do you kind of see yourself in any specific role? You mentioned, maybe returning and running back or maybe some slot receiving. Do you feel like you could do all of that, or is there one that you prefer? Or
I'll do all that. Like I said, that's my game.
Okay, Gus Balo, go ahead.
Hey, Pooka, one last question about your time at Kansas. Is there a moment in your career here at KU that you'll remember the most?
My freshman year against my freshman year, I think it was against it was my sophomore year. It was my freshman against Central Michigan. It was against Central Michigan. That was my first game, and I went out there and performed and we wound up winning the game, and that was our first road game in like a decade. First win road game in like a decade.
Yeah, is that the game you remember the most as you reflect on your career here at KU?
I think the game I remember the most is Oklahoma though, my freshman year.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Pooka.
Nick Fairbairn, go ahead.
Hi, Pooka. Nick Faribault from Pittsburgh Sports Now. When you play on tape, you play with a certain edge. Despite a bit of a smaller stature, you play with a lot of physicality to grind out yards. Is that something you really pride your game on?
Well, it's definitely. Like I said, it's a physical game, and I love being physical. Like I'm just not about to get bullied, no matter the size.
Do you take that mentality to pass pro as well, especially for a 3-down back like you who has that receiving ability?
Yeah, every time I get on the field, that's just my mindset. No matter what I'm doing, that's my mindset.
And then my obligatory question: have you heard from the Steelers at all?
No, sir.
All right, thanks, Pooka.
No, sir.
We got time for one more. Ed, go ahead.
Hey, thanks a lot. Hey, Pooka, I just want to ask you, I know Kansas, didn't have a lot of wins during your time there. Do you feel you're a little bit under the radar as a prospect at this point?
I mean, I am, but it's like underdog always come out on top. At the end of the day, I signed up for it. I came to Kansas, and that's what it is. I'm glad I'm underdog.